In this valley at the foot of Mount San Juan, people don't slaughter each other for gold or silver. They kill each other for water. 10 days. That was the deadline Anna Vale had to pay on the bank's promissory note affixed to a wooden stake. 10 days before Vale Ridge Ranch was seized. Without water, the livestock would die, the pastures would wither, and her father's last remaining home would be brazenly taken away. The town saw her as a vulnerable prey, waiting to be devoured by greed. They thought taking away the water was taking away resistance. But they didn't know that beneath this woman's floorboards lay a secret that could hang an entire empire. The animal skin wasn't a debt reminder. It was Wade Crow's mark, a declaration of war, a death sentence. Vale Ridge's survival was numbered, unless this parched land rescued a ghost from the dead. Dry Hollow had no laws. It only had Wade Crow. He was the most arrogant hound of mob boss Harvey Stone, who turned blatant land grabs into fair gunfights right in the middle of the street. There was no chance for the weak. Even Sheriff Elias Grant, the representative of justice, retreated into the shadows. He, meticulously, his hands trembling, signed the death certificate with 2 cold words: self-defense. The cowardly silence of the old policeman proved one thing: this town was dead from within. One day, Anna's voice rang out sharply, cutting through the fearful atmosphere of the saloon. Your hand will draw its gun faster than the conscience of this entire town, but it will never be faster than the truth. The West always had a place for vagrants, but this man didn't look like one seeking glory. He walked like a silent ghost, weighed down by the weariness of someone who had been through hell. Anna realized instantly that this man was nothing like the boisterous bandits. The way he observed the escape routes and never left his back to the door, that was the brutal instinct of a survivor. Provocation was futile against a rock. Cole Reed hadn't come to Dry Hollow to be a hero or prove his mettle. He had come for a name on an old promissory note. A name that had once burned his entire past and his family. Harvey Stone. A scar of fire. It was the exact same mark on the survey records of a horrific land grab years ago. And Anna knew that the wandering ghost she had just encountered was the only blade capable of tearing apart Harvey Stone's empire. The woman from the West didn't sit weeping, waiting for a savior. Anna knew the truth was buried beneath layers of forged documents. She walked into the lion's den herself, but Harvey Stone's rules left no room for resistance. Every step in the quest for truth came at a price of blood. Cole Reed didn't brandish his gun to be a chivalrous hero. He saved her, but his gaze was a chilling warning. If you're holding the Red Chapel map, Harvey Stone won't wait for the bank to foreclose. He'll burn your farm down first. In the frontier, love doesn't blossom from sweet words. It's forged through the harshness of the land, through the salty sweat and the desperate desire to cling to one's last means of survival. The bond began in the quietest things. Anna realized Cole was more than just a killing machine. Those scarred hands understood the land, knew how to tie a leather rope, understood the pain of a farm dying of thirst. One believed in the law, even though the law was rotten. and the other believed only in punishment because the law had once taken everything from him. Two fragments clashed. But it was this woman's stubborn resilience that was gradually awakening a part of Cole's humanity that he thought had been buried in the ashes years ago. But those lurking in the shadows never gave them time to argue. Cole's warning had come true. Fire is the most cowardly weapon of land grabbers. They didn't come to fight fairly. They came to burn away hope, to force their victims to collapse before winter arrived. In the West, heroes don't wear clean cloaks. Cole Reed bled, his flesh blistered from the burns. Because deep within this traveler's cruel memory, he understood all too well the pain of returning home to find everything reduced to ashes. Harvey Stone thought a single spark could burn away the will of a frontier woman. He offered a poisoned olive branch, calling the act of taking mercy. But from his porch, Cole silently witnessed it all. He saw a woman who would rather take root in barren land than yield. It was a choice he himself had never had the chance to make in the past. Love in this harsh land doesn't blossom from vows of eternal love. It's proven by people bandaging each other's wounds after a night of hardship, by the understanding silence between two scarred souls. The silver coin isn't a memento, it's a sentence. Anna recognizes it instantly. Reed is the last name in her father's ledger, the owner of a farm in the Southern Valley burned down years ago. Cole Reed isn't a wanderer. He's a ghost seeking blood revenge. Wade Crow started the fire. The bank forged the documents, and Harvey Stone is the mastermind behind this entire predatory empire. That taciturn traveler has hunted them down across 3 states, not for justice, but for punishment. Harvey Stone thinks he burned all the evidence. Anna's voice rang out sharply, breaking the silence of the room. But my father hid the original map and the real ledgers, where they couldn't be burned. The atmosphere in the room suddenly changed. The struggle for survival of a poor farm had just officially become a bloody crusade toward Red Chapel Gorge. There are secrets that must be buried with blood. Beneath this red stone floor lay not just a map of Vale Ridge. It was evidence of a series of farms devoured by Harvey Stone, including the family of Cole Reed. That fragile piece of paper was the death sentence for an empire. This was the moment the traveler had waited for years. In a split second, with a single shot, blood debt would be repaid with blood. But revenge is the path of ghosts, and Cole Reed is at a crossroads. Cole wasn't disillusioned by speed. He held back the fatal bullet because Anna was standing right behind him. She didn't need a corpse. She needed this evidence to survive and come to light. Killing Wade here would make Cole an outlaw, and that ledger would forever remain the pages of a dead man. The truth was revealed, but the truth would be meaningless without people brave enough to protect it. An entire town had been bought off. They were silent because they owed money for seeds, for shipping, and even their own lives to Harvey Stone. Cole knew how to eliminate an enemy, but Anna knew how to bring down a system. She didn't choose bloodshed in the streets. She chose the carriage ride tomorrow morning straight to the district court in Silverton. Cole saved her life, and now she's trying to save him from becoming a monster like them. When the noisy hunting dogs fail, the real ghosts begin to appear. Gideon Shaw wasn't blinded by ego. He knew how to read his prey's mind. "The woman will run in her carriage," he muttered in the darkness, "and the man will follow to his death." They didn't choose direct confrontation. Intelligence and distraction were the only weapons of the hunted. But Gideon Shaw wasn't a hunting dog easily fooled by the shallow hoofprints on the mountainside. He hunted by strangling their lifeline. The woman didn't sit waiting for a hero to rescue her. When death was imminent, she chose to rescue the truth first. Cole Reed could win any gunfight with skill, but he failed to protect the woman he loved. The map escaped, but at the cost of Anna Vale's freedom and life. An ultimatum was written with cruelty, and the traveler realized he was being cornered. Any choice leading to hell. The legal system had become a perfect instrument of murder. When evidence is absent, lies will naturally take on the guise of justice. Vale Ridge Ranch, the last bastion of resistance, had officially fallen. This was the most devastating moment for Cole Reed. Years ago, because he came home late, he left his family to die in a fire. Today, he had to grit his teeth and turn his back on a woman in danger, accepting another night at the hands of these villains. Cole chose to uphold justice rather than satisfy his personal desires. A heartbreaking sacrifice. The final piece of the truth was now in Cole's hands. But before he could use it to save Anna, the traveler had to step through a deadly trap that had been set. This was a perfectly orchestrated death drama, a drama exactly like the way Cole's family had been massacred. Every crime was washed away under the guise of law. But Wade Crow had misjudged his prey. Cole never walked into a trap without observing. He had seen through the killer's habits and had quietly removed all the bullets from his spare gun beforehand. Even the most brilliant speed was a joke before a cool head. In that moment, the monster of revenge roared in Cole's chest. But he remembered Anna's unwavering gaze. She didn't need more corpses. She needed the truth to live. Killing Wade now, Cole would forever be an outlaw murderer. Elias trembled as he opened the ledger. The countless fabricated debts and forged signatures assaulted his eyes. His complicit silence had reached its limit. He pulled out the handcuffs, locking the assassin's hands, officially stepping out of the shadows of cowardice. Time was no longer counted in days, it was counted in breaths. Harvey Stone had chosen the path of total annihilation. He wanted the floodwaters to wash away all crimes, turning Red Chapel into a graveyard of hope. That woman never surrendered. She didn't wait for anyone to open a path for her. She herself lit the flame of destiny, calling forth the truth in the darkness. Justice cannot be served by a single individual. It must be created from the strength of an awakened community. But on the cliff, the hunter Gideon Shaw's finger was on the trigger, and Knox's fuse was burning fiercely, clinging to the explosive charge. The hunter's bullet had pierced his flesh and bone. But Cole's ultimate pain now lay in the choice he had to make. One pull of the trigger and his greatest enemy would be dead. The past would be avenged. But in return, the rock would explode, and the woman who was awakening his humanity would be crushed beneath the raging waters. The West's judge wasn't always a pistol. Cole took away the fuse, and Anna ignited a weapon far more destructive than gunpowder. The rage of a community. From atop the high cliff, Gideon Shaw silently retreated. He lowered his gun. He realized Harvey Stone was willing to drown even his own men in the flood just to escape. The hunting dog had broken its leash, abandoning its master. Harvey Stone's empire crumbled, not by a vengeful bullet from a vagabond. It was crushed by the weight of evidence and the unwavering fortitude of a woman who refused death. A storm passes, leaving behind ruins, but also cleansing away the festering sores. Water has returned to Vale Ridge. Life, sometimes, begins anew from the bond between people who have lost everything. Love in the West doesn't end with lavish weddings or lengthy vows. It's present in who will give you a tool and who will help you replant the stakes to protect a home. Hatred can help a person survive through the darkest years. But to truly live on, one needs a reason. Starting from a dried-up ditch, this piece of land eventually found refuge for a ghost and gave the traveler a home.